Good afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Update and Crystal Clear Weather. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the snow potential that we have coming Thursday and Friday. Here's a look at the GFS model for Thursday and Friday. This is kind of its peak intensity. The GFS has kind of a longer drawn out system. All of these kind of have a two wave system that I'll show you here in a minute with the European. It's just a matter of difference in how they handle it. But here's the GFS kind of in peak snow fall. This would be early in the morning on Friday, so it kind of runs the snow from Thursday afternoon to Friday afternoon. Here's a look at the GFS's output for snowfall. And as we zoom in on central Indiana, it's got Madison County kind of in a general 3 to maybe 5 inch snowfall, with heavier snow going just to our north. Here's a look at the European model. I put it on a regional view so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. As you look down here into northeastern Tennessee, it's got this low pressure system down there, and it kind of paints a heavier snow swath with the snow that's immediately north of that. Then it has the snow that comes up here as part of a secondary system that eventually merges with the two. So the European isn't quite as excited about the snowfall amounts. And I would take a look here at what the European spits out is the least aggressive of all the models, including some of the high-res data that I didn't put in because this is right on the periphery of the NAM. So and the high-res Canadian, so I want to let those get a little closer in. But the European still gives us somewhere around a couple of inches of snow. Here's a look at the German Icon model. It's got the two split system as well, but it merges the two a little better because you can see the low pressure down here. Then you can see a little more intense core right here in eastern Illinois, and between the two, it merges them a little better for central Indiana. And so the Icon is putting down about 4 to 5 inches of snow for Madison County. It's a little farther north with the deformation banding because if you go back and look, it's got the main low sitting in Kentucky instead of northeastern Tennessee. And here's a look at the Canadian. The Canadian is, again, a little more unified in the whole system. And it doesn't have the low pressure icon on it, but it is down here kind of in southeastern Kentucky. So, and then it's got a quite extensive snow shield that would come through our area as the system tracks off to the east-northeast. And so the Canadian is the most aggressive of all the models. It wants to put down, between 5 and 7 inches of snow for Madison County and for much of north central Indiana. So that may be too aggressive. I think the European may be too light. Right now, my gut is that we've got at least a 2 to 4 inch snowfall coming, maybe 3 to 6. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow, but I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up on it. So it's looking like if this system pans out, you should probably expect school delays or maybe closures for rural schools on Friday morning at this point. Again, this is only Tuesday. We'll see how it looks tomorrow, but from this distance and the way the storms look like they're shaping up, when you look at all the flow on satellite, I do believe this is a legitimate storm. This is not one that's pumping up a bunch of warmth like the last two where we had to contend with that. So, but again, we'll see how it looks as it gets closer because these things have been sticking it to us pretty good. So last thing is temperatures. Of course, we're in the middle of quite the cold streak. This is the GEFS, so don't take it verbatim, just look at the pattern to it. So, today we're going to be in the single digits to maybe around 10. We'll get down into single digits tonight. Temperature really won't drop too much. Tomorrow and Thursday, we will be in the low to mid 20s. Friday, we may be right around 20, but that will be very early. The temperature will be falling all day Friday, and I really expect that we will go sub-zero Saturday morning again. Saturday afternoon, again around 10 to maybe 12 degrees. GEFS has 5 for a low. That may be the case. I think we'll be closer to 0 with the snowpack down. I think these temperatures with some snow down will actually be colder. But again, we're just looking at a model trend. By Monday, we then go back above freezing. And by the time we reach the end of next week, we're hanging around 50 degrees. And I do think as we hit around the 30th, 31st, maybe into very early February, winter will take another run at us. One of the things I found interesting as I was doing some research for Ken Delabastide at the Herald Bulletin is I was looking back at the cold snaps since 1970, and nearly every major last time we had a cold snap this long, we're going to end up being below freezing for about a week. Last time that happened was in 2018, where we went from Christmas Day till almost the end of the first week of January, where we were below freezing. But almost every one of these major cold snaps that we have going back to the early 1970s, about a week or so later, we end up setting a record high. It doesn't happen every time. So far, data doesn't point to that, but I think we need to watch the very end of next week as that warmth peaks out, where maybe we might be flirting with some records as we might. I wouldn't be surprised to see data trend for us to be in the mid, maybe upper 50s by the end of next week. We'll see how that pans out. That's too far away to know for sure. But I just wanted to show you that while we're in this cold trend right now, we will warm up next week. That will last 7 to 10 days, and then we'll start watching for our next cold spell. So this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates and crystal clear weather. Have a great day, and as always, if you can support this page, go to the top of the Twitter page or the top of the Facebook page, and there's all the information up there, the different ways that you can financially donate to the page. I would greatly appreciate it. I thank all of my sponsors and all of you who do support this page financially. You're awesome. You're all awesome anyway. But thank you very much. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. Have a great day.